Hi there, guys. I just wanted to talk today about some shop ideas. Some just things that either maybe you've thought of them, maybe you haven't, but they work in my shop, and um, they're just sort of little things that I do to make my work go a little easier. One of the things you'll notice is I don't have a whole lot of space, so there's a lot of stuff that gets dual usage or triple usage. So I've got a miter saw workbench with a drill press and a belt grinder on it. And then what I'm going to do here on my new workbench, I'll see if I can put a link to it in the video for the workbench construction. But things like this, the arbor press, I don't use that every day, so I don't necessarily want to have it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Sharpie and mark where it's supposed to go when it's on the workbench. And then you see there's two holes here. I'll be able to get two leg screws and washers so that I can mark out where it actually gets founded, and then I'll just, whenever I want to use this, I'll leg screw it to the bench, and this 3.5-inch bench top will be able to handle that. Then I can use it, and when I'm done, I take the leg screws out, put it away, and then I don't have to have it on my workbench all the time. And the only thing I really sacrifice is two holes in the top of my workbench, which I'm not really worried about. So let me get that marked out, and I'll show you what I mean. Alright, so as you can see, I've got an outline where this needs to go the next time I use it. And I've got my two holes here for, putting the leg screws in. So the next time I go down to Harbor Freight, or not Harbor Freight, but a Tractor Supply or Home Depot, I'll pick up some heavy-duty leg screws that I can use to go through the top of this into the hole below, and then this thing will be centered right exactly where I want it. Get it, so when I set it down, it'll be all lined up with the screws, and then I'll be good to go. And in the meantime, I can take this and put it over on the shelf where it's not going to be in the way. Another great addition to any shop is a whiteboard. Now, whiteboards from the office supply stores are expensive, but if you've got an extra 20 bucks, you can head down to Home Depot or Lowe's and pick up this backer board. It's a white hardy board, I guess you call it. I don't know what the exact name of it is, but you use it in showers and that kind of stuff. And it comes in a sheet, 4x8 sheet, and I cut mine to be 6 foot long. I used to have this in my office, and then I moved it out here to the shop, and it works just as well as any whiteboard that you buy, and it only costs 20 bucks. So if you have the need for a whiteboard, I would seriously recommend going and getting a sheet of this stuff. And it works great. If you've got an idea, you got something you want to flesh out, just get up there and start thinking about it. You may have seen this a couple times in my videos. I've got screws in an old gelato tin, or it's not a tin, it's a plastic cup. But the nice thing about this is you can fill it up with the screws that you want to have, and then when you're ready to go out on a project, you can just take one of these out of your tool belt and throw the other one in. And that way when you're out there working, you've got what you need, but you don't have to dig around in the bottom of your tool belt. Who knows what's in there? There's all kinds of stuff in there. I have no idea what it is, but hey, I know what's in there now. So little bits and pieces like this. You go to the supermarket and there's different brands of ice cream. You pick up the one that has the usable tin. Maybe it's no good, but hey, at least you worked out a usable tin. And I do this with a lot of things. So like here I've got old T-tins with screws. There we go. I've got a bunch of screws that don't have a home right now. But if I need one before I go down to the Home Depot or wherever, I'll look through my tin, see if I've got something I can use. Now, and they're handy. Containers are a big thing. Everything needs a place to go. So, whether you use the box that came with it or an ice cream cup, or even an old ammo box. I've got a lot of my adhesives in an old ammo box. So there's all different kinds of ways to think creatively about your storage in your shop. And really, If it works, it works. It might not work for you, but it works for me. This is less of an idea, more of a methodology or a way of doing your shop, and that's don't skimp. And I've got a few good examples of skimping on this workbench right here. One is this Home Depot bucket head. It spreads more dust than it picks up. So every time I turn it on, I get dust everywhere. I don't even know if I can get filters for it. I think I took the filter off at one point because I was using it wet, and I lost the filter or threw it out or something. The other one is this Harbor Freight drill press, which is great for like soft wood, anything you pilot hole, but the tolerances on it and the bench move so much that sometimes it's hard to get an accurate hole. So if you're doing any metal work or anything like that, it doesn't always take make the grade. And then the other one is this another Harbor Freight purchase, which is the belt sander. It served me pretty well, but if I would have just spent a few extra dollars, I probably could have gotten something a little bit better and something that's going to hold up to a lot more use and abuse. But yeah, if you know you want it, like, and then this one, the skill saw, it doesn't exactly cut everything square anymore. So I bet you if I would have thought about it and considered how much I was going to use it over the years, I could have got a much better saw that would have stood the test of time a little bit better than this one. I'm about ready to upgrade this, so I'll probably have to take my own advice when it comes time to do so. But just as a methodology, if you can, don't skimp. On the other hand, if that's all you can afford at the time, sometimes it's better just to get it. I mean, that was the case with this belt sander. I didn't have a couple $100 to put down on a belt sander, so I went down for $65, $75 or whatever it was and got this belt sander, and it served its purpose, but it's not exactly what I want for the long-term shop. So it's just, if you can, don't skimp. If you have to, try and get the best bang for your buck. And I guess the last thing I would say as an idea is to get and stay organized. So I've got all my cleaning stuff over here. I've got my push broom, my broom, my little sweeper broom, and the dustbin, all in one place where I can get to it easily and be able to use it effectively. It's up out of the way. I don't have to worry about it. Same thing with my tool bench. I've got the go-to tools, the things that I find myself grabbing the most often. On the top, I got screwdrivers. I've got my socket set. I've got a lot of different things ready to go at a moment's notice, and they're loosely organized. Now, I say that because I will probably, as time goes on, I'll probably go down through my tool bench and really organize it much better. I might even try and make some inserts. So instead of having just stuff thrown all about, have it sort of, have a place for it and where it goes. It just makes it easy, to do the projects that you're working on. If it's easier to do them if you know where your tools are at. And the other part of the organization is sort of setting up your shop to be used. It's really easy for me if I need to grab my drill press, I just slide this out and have it set right here on the edge of the bench. When it's not in use, it's pushed up out of the way, and I can use my miter saw. Same thing for the belt sander. Everything's set up so that I can get to it fairly easily. I don't have to do a whole lot of setup. The only thing that's really bolted down is the chop saw. And I don't know if that's the best way to do it. I haven't had any issues with it being bolted down. It hasn't been in the way. But it's set up, to be a chop saw on this chop saw bench. So I would hope it wouldn't be in the way. But anyway, get and stay organized. And the bonus is make sure you build things to be cleaned. That's the one mistake I think I made here is I've got the shelves in the way. I can't get in there. So all the dust from the miter saw goes back behind here, falls down on the ground. So every time I have to sweep, I have to pull these benches or these shelves out. Yeah, it's not optimal, but in a small space like this, I have to use what I can. So anyway, there's five 5 ideas for your shop, and I appreciate you watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll see you in the next video.